me! They are taking my brother away!
Mafia King Seo froze. No one grabbed him like that. No one begged him. People feared him too much. But this boy, shaking, eyes full of panic, didn't even know who he was. "They won't let him go," he cried. "He keeps calling my name, I can hear him." The private lounge went silent. Wealthy executives, bodyguards, and powerful figures watched as a street child stood in front of the most untouchable man in the city. Mafia King Seo slowly looked down at the small hand gripping his sleeve. Years ago, another small hand had reached for him. Another voice had begged him to save her. His daughter. If you're already hooked by this Korean Mafia story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss our next upload. Also, drop a comment below telling us where you're watching from. We love hearing from our viewers around the world. A security guard stepped forward. "Boss, I'll remove the boy." "Don't." His voice was calm, but it carried more power than a scream. He knelt in front of the boy, his sharp eyes softening. "Where is your brother?" The boy pointed toward the glowing streets of Seoul outside. "They took him, and I don't know how to get him back." For the first time in a very long time, the Iron King felt his heart crack. His name was Min-jun, 8 years old. Dirt under his fingernails, bruises on his knees, clothes too thin for the Seoul winter. He told him everything through broken sobs. His brother, Hyun, was 16. Their parents had died 2 years ago when their small restaurant burned down in a gang war crossfire. No one took them in. Orphaned children without family protection were invisible in Korean society. The boys survived on the streets of Gangnam, selling tissues at intersections, collecting recyclables, sleeping in Jjimjilbang saunas when they could afford it. Last week, Hyun borrowed money from the wrong people. Not much, just enough to buy medicine when Min-jun caught pneumonia from sleeping in the cold. But the lender was connected to the Choi Syndicate, a brutal gang that controlled the Itaewon underground. They didn't care about reasons. They wanted their money back, with interest that doubled every 3 days. When Hyun couldn't pay, they took him. "They said if I don't bring them 5 million won by tomorrow night," Min-jun whispered in Korean, "they'll sell him to the underground markets in Busan. Hyung will never come back." 5 million won. To Mafia King Seo, that was the cost of a single dinner. To this boy, it was impossible. He stood slowly, his expression unreadable. Everyone in the lounge watched. They knew his reputation. He built his empire on ruthless efficiency. The Seo family controlled half of Seoul's underground from the casinos to the ports. He didn't save people, he dominated them or destroyed them. But Min-jun didn't know any of that. He only knew his brother was gone, and this powerful man in the expensive suit was the first person who didn't push him away. Mafia King Seo looked at his right-hand man, Kim Yi-sung. "Find out where the Choi Syndicate is holding the older brother." "Boss." "You heard me." The man bowed deeply and pulled out his phone. He turned back to Min-jun. "Come with me." In the black Genesis sedan, Min-jun sat rigid, his small frame pressed against the leather seat like he was afraid to touch anything. The streets of Gangnam blurred past luxury boutiques, corporate towers, gleaming shopping districts. Mafia King Seo watched the Han River shimmer in the distance. He hadn't told anyone this story in 15 years. His daughter, Jae-hee, had been 7 when it happened. A kidnapping by a rival syndicate, a challenge to his authority before he became king. He'd been powerful even then, but not yet untouchable. He paid everything they asked for. They sent her back broken, traumatized. She never recovered. The light in her eyes died that day. The people responsible died slowly. He made sure of that. He hunted them himself in the mountains outside Seoul, but it didn't bring back his daughter's smile. After that, he became colder, harder. He eliminated every threat before it could touch his territory. He became the thing men whispered about in fear. Chulwang, the Iron King. But looking at Min-jun now, this terrified child who reminded him so much of what he'd lost, Something ancient and buried stirred inside his chest. "Your brother," he said quietly in Korean. "What kind of person is he?" Min-jun's eyes lit up despite his fear. "Hyung is the best. He makes me laugh even when we have nothing. He shares his ramyun even when he's hungry. He never gets angry at me, even when I mess up. He protected me from bad men who wanted to hurt me." He nodded slowly. "Then we'll bring him home." If you're loving this Korean Mafia story so far, smash that like button. It really helps us bring you more amazing content like this. The Choi Syndicate operated out of an abandoned noribang near Itaewon. Broken neon signs, shattered karaoke screens, armed men posted at every entrance. Mafia King Seo's convoy pulled up at midnight. No police, just 5 black Genesis sedans and 20 of his most elite soldiers, all dressed in black suits, all bearing the Seo family dragon tattoo. The Choi boss, a man named Sung-ho, came out laughing when he saw him. He was young, arrogant, still stupid enough to think his 30 men protected him. "Mafia King Seo," he said mockingly in rough Seoul dialect. "What brings Chulwang to our humble?" He raised one hand. His right-hand man handed him a briefcase. He opened it. Cash. Exactly 5 million won in crisp bills. "The boy you took 3 days ago," he said calmly. "Bring him out, take this, we're done." Sung-ho's grin widened. "Aish, and if I say no? If I say the price just went up to 10 million? The air grew heavy with tension. Men on both sides shifted uneasily. The sheer authority radiating from the Mafia King made even his own men want to step back. This was true power, the kind that made Korea's underground bow. Mafia King Seo closed the briefcase, handed it back. "Then I'll make you a different offer." He stepped forward, his presence alone making Sung-ho's men back up instinctively. "You can release the boy now, take the money, and disappear from Seoul. Or I can dismantle the Choi Syndicate piece by piece, starting with you, and take him anyway." Sung-ho laughed, but it sounded hollow. Everyone knew his reputation. He didn't make empty threats. The Seo family had eliminated 3 rival syndicates in the last decade alone. "You think you can just roll up here and—" "I am the Mafia King of Seoul," he said flatly in perfect, cold Korean. "I control 70 businesses across this country. I have politicians in my pocket. I have chaebols who owe me favors. The Gangnam police chief gets his paycheck from me." He tilted his head. "You're street thugs playing at power in my city. Do you really want to test me?" Silence. Sung-ho's face went pale. Every instinct told him he was standing in front of a predator far above his level, true mafia royalty. One of the older Choi members stepped forward, bowing deeply in traditional Korean style. "We'll bring the boy, Boss Seo." Minutes later, Di-hyun stumbled out, bruised, limping, fear evident in his eyes. Min-jun screamed, "Hyung," and ran to him. The brothers collapsed into each other, crying in Korean, holding tight. Mafia King Seo placed the briefcase on the ground. "Consider this a gift," he said coldly. "And a warning. If I hear the Choi Syndicate has touched these boys again, if I hear you've even looked at them, I will erase you from Seoul." His eyes flashed with pure menace. "And trust me, I don't make threats twice." He turned and walked back to his car. Behind him, 2 brothers held each other and cried. He brought them to one of his safe houses in Hanamdong, the most exclusive neighborhood in Seoul, fed them proper Korean food, gave them clean clothes. Min-jun fell asleep almost immediately, exhausted. But Di-hyun stayed awake, sitting stiffly at the table, fear and defiance mixing in his eyes. "Why did you help us?" he asked quietly in Korean. Mafia King Seo poured himself soju. "Because someone should have helped me once," he said, "and no one did." Di-hyun looked down. "We can't repay you, we have nothing, we're just street kids." "I'm not asking you to." He set down his glass. "But if you want to survive in Seoul, you'll need to be smarter, stronger. The streets will eat kids like you alive in this city." He paused. "I can give you a choice. I'll set you both up in an apartment in Gangnam under my protection. Give you enough money to finish school. After that, you're on your own. Di-hyun's eyes widened. Or, he continued, you work for me. I'll teach you how this world really works. How to protect yourself, how to protect him. People in my organization are valued, protected. You'll never be helpless again. He nodded toward the sleeping Min-jun. I don't save people, he said quietly, but I don't waste them either. Di-hyun looked at his brother, then back at him. I'll work for you, boss. What would you have chosen in Di-hyun's position? Let us know in the comments below. Di-hyun became one of his most trusted people. He had advantages others didn't: sharper instincts from surviving the streets, better people skills, the ability to negotiate where others would fight. Loyal, smart, ruthless when needed but never cruel. Min-jun went to Seoul National University, became a doctor for those who couldn't afford proper health care, especially street kids abandoned by society. He never forgot where he came from. And Mafia King Seo, Chulwang, the Iron King, never spoke about that night again. But those who worked closest to him noticed something. Once a month, he visited a small memorial in the mountains outside Seoul. And once a month, two brothers visited his Hanamdong estate with homemade Korean food and gratitude. He never smiled easily. But for the first time in 15 years, he didn't feel quite so cold. If this Korean mafia story touched your heart, please like this video and share it with someone who loves emotional Korean mafia stories. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our next upload. Comment below where you're watching from, we'd love to know. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.